Hello guys, welcome to Codersarts.com. In this video, I will explain Spark architecture. I have already talked about PySpark and how to install them and how to use them in Jupyter Notebook. If you don't know about PySpark or PySpark installation, watch previous video. You can also find these videos in the PySpark tutorial playlist. So now let's understand the Spark architecture. Spark is one of the most prominent data processing framework in big data world. I will explain the Spark architecture diagram. First, Spark architecture has the few terms that we need to understand, such as driver, executor, node, and cluster. In addition, we also need to know dataset, data partitions, task, cache, core slot, threads, jobs, etc. This is the diagram of Spark architecture. Spark follow the master and slave architecture that consists of a single master, which is called driver, and multiple slave, it means worker nodes in the cluster. Master node has a driver program. Driver run its own JVM and driver is responsible for giving the instruction to all slave nodes. Spark code behave like driver program and create a Spark context, which is the entry point to all the Spark functionalities. Spark application run as a independent sets of processes on a cluster, and driver program and Spark context take care of the job execution within the cluster. A job is split into multiple tasks that are distributed over the worker nodes. When an RDD is created in Spark context, it can be distributed across the various nodes. And worker nodes are slaves that execute different tasks. Executor is responsible for the execution of these tasks. Worker nodes execute the task assigned by the cluster manager and return the result back to the Spark context. Worker nodes execute the task assigned by the cluster manager and return it back to the Spark context. Driver program is a process that runs the main function of the application and create the Spark context object. Spark application running as the independent sets of process on a cluster. To run on a cluster, Spark context connect different type of cluster managers and perform the task like send the application code to the executor, acquire executors on nodes in the cluster, and at last Spark context send task to the executor to run. Cluster. Manager is responsible for the allocate resources across the application, and Spark is able to enough number of running on a large number of clusters. Worker nodes is a slave node. It is responsible to run the application code in the cluster. Executor. Executor is responsible for launch the application on worker nodes. It run tasks and keep data in memory or disk storage across them. Also, it is responsible for read and write data to the external sources. Task. It is unit of work that will be sent to the executor. So guys, that's it for today. In this video, I introduce you with Spark architecture. We will see the next topic on PySpark in the next video. Thank you.